Welcome back to Stories by the Word, where we journey through the Bible together, one chapter at a time. In the last chapter, we saw the story of Cain and Abel, the first brothers, the first jealousy, and the first bloodshed. Humanity had begun to multiply across the earth, but the weight of sin had already touched the world. Now, Genesis chapter 5 takes us on a different kind of journey. It is not a story of events, but a story of generations. A reminder that life continues. Time moves forward, and God's plan unfolds through the lives of ordinary people. Genesis 5 begins by reminding us of something important. When God created mankind, He made them in His own likeness. Male and female He created them, and He blessed them. Humanity carried the image of its Creator. Adam lived for many years after the birth of his son Seth. Seth was born after the tragedy of Cain and Abel, and through Seth a new line of people began, a line that would carry the story of God's people forward. Seth had a son named Enoch, and during the days of Enoch, something meaningful began to happen again. People started calling upon the name of the Lord. In a world that had begun to drift, there were still those who turned their hearts toward God. The generations continued. Fathers had sons and daughters. Life spread across the earth. Each generation lived their days, built their families, and then their time came to an end. Adam lived 930 years, and then he died. Seth lived 912 years, and then he died. Enoch lived 905 years, and then he died. Again and again the pattern continued. Long lives filled with children, families, and stories we will never fully know. Yet each life carried the same reminder. Life on earth is temporary, but in the middle of this long list of generations, one man's story stands out. His name was Enoch. Enoch walked closely with God. While others simply lived their days, Enoch chose a different path. His life was marked by relationship with the Creator. And then something extraordinary happened. Enoch did not die like the others. Instead, after walking faithfully with God, he was taken away. Scripture tells us that God took him. It is one of the earliest glimpses in the Bible that a life lived close to God carries a different kind of destiny. The generations continued after Enoch. Eventually, a man named Lamech had a son, and he gave that child a name that carried hope. He named him Noah. Lamech said that this child would bring comfort from the painful labor of working the ground that God had cursed after Adam's fall. And with the birth of Noah, the stage was quietly being set for the next great chapter in the story of humanity. Genesis 5 may seem like a list of names, but hidden within it is a powerful truth. Generations rise and generations pass, but God's plan continues moving forward. Even in a broken world, there were people like Enoch who chose to walk with God. And even in long lines of ordinary lives, God was preparing the arrival of Noah, a man whose story would soon change the course of the world. If you are walking this journey through Scripture with us, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Stories by the Word. Let's continue learning together, one chapter at a time. Next episode, Genesis chapter 6.